Utah leads the nation in dental insurance reform with real laws, real change, and real leadership. And we're beginning a 10-week podcast campaign from My Practice, My Business, celebrating Utah's groundbreaking dental insurance reforms. Each episode will break down one piece of legislation or advocacy focus, explaining how these laws strengthen practices, protect patients, and hopefully inspire other states to follow Utah's lead. Welcome to the Legislation Podcast and YouTube broadcast, episode number 4. House Bill 495, Overpayment and Recoupment Protections, Ending the Money Shuffle. We begin our podcast right there.
Have you ever opened your insurance payment report and realized the money was taken from one patient's payment to repay an overpayment on someone completely different?
This is me smiling and being really pissed off all at the same time. This one really cut under my skin like no tomorrow. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Insurance companies have been playing this shell game for years. Taking money from one patient's account to pay back another, sometimes without warning.
That is why we passed Utah.
I think it's most of the time without warning, wouldn't you say? Okay, sorry, keep going.
That's exactly why Utah passed House Bill 495, the Overpayment and Recoupment Protections Law. And this is one of the most important reforms for every dental office to understand.
For sure.
Here's how it used to work. Let's say MetLife or Select Health overpaid on patient A.
God, I'm sorry I'm laughing because this is so wrong in so many directions. But keep going.
Instead of sending you a notice or asking for that refund directly, they'd simply pull money from patient B's payment. Sometimes these payments weren't even from the same family, the same plan, or even the same week of service.
It's basically the insurance company saying, hey, we made a mistake, but we're going to fix it by taking money from somewhere else to compensate for our mistake.
And it doesn't even give me the opportunity to argue or to contest that overpayment either. The problem is that kind of transaction forces your team to do something risky. You're making a note in patient B's chart referencing to patient A to justify the debit or credit that's happening. This is a HIPAA nightmare waiting to happen.
And the reason why it's a HIPAA nightmare is because what if that patient requests their chart, at any given stage? They get to have the ledger, the notes are going to be there. Hi, we took it from John Doe, and we paid, Joe Sorensen money from now you've just completely blown through HIPAA, right?
Yep.
And from a clinical and business standpoint, that just simply destroys trust. You can't have proper accounting or patient transparency when money's being shifted like that without notice. What a ledger nightmare.
When I called the insurance companies about it, which I go to the source, their response was absolutely unbelievable. They said that it's easier for them to take the money automatically instead of taking those refund checks directly in the mail because they didn't have the bandwidth to do it. I even heard one insurance company tell me that they would go bankrupt because they lose checks a lot.
Our conversation's recorded. When I heard that, I just started laughing. Of course it's easier for them, sure. But it strips the provider of any chance to verify whether the overpayment was even valid.
Exactly. It saves them time and money, but it violates privacy, accounting ethics, and professional autonomy. So we did what Utah does best. We fix it with legislation.
Utah's House Bill 495, it just put an end to this nonsense. It now requires insurance companies to send a written notice explaining any alleged overpayment and request a refund.
So once the letter is sent, providers have 60 days from the date of the letter to issue a refund check. If they don't, and only if they don't, the insurance company can then recoup the funds.
And it's all about process and fairness. The insurance company, they have to communicate first. They have to send you a letter, and the provider has the right to verify, document, and refund properly back to the insurance company up to 60 days. But this is what I love that you taught.
So I already know there's likely going to be a loophole. Now, this law goes into effect January 1st, 2026. So we have some time, but so does the insurance company to figure out how they're going to circumnavigate this one.
They've got what? Just a few more weeks before.
Yep, they're getting there. So here's what you're going to do. When you issue a refund check, you're going to send it certified mail.
Absolutely.
That way, if the insurance company tries to claim they didn't receive it, you have proof. So keep that documentation. And if they try to recoup anyway, you file a formal complaint with your state's insurance commissioner. We realize that there are some states that don't have an active state insurance commissioner. That's going to be a whole other problem that we're going to discuss in another podcast, because that's troubling. However, state dental association executive directors can fix this problem. They just have to get involved with state government. We know that the insurance companies are going to simply wait the 60 days and then automatically recoup, stating that they didn't receive it. That's still going to be cheaper for them in the long run. So please, please, please send it certified mail. This may seem like a small detail. It's a 60-day rule, written notice, but this is a game changer. It restores the balance and accountability in these dental offices with the insurance companies. This means that offices can stay compliant with HIPAA. They can protect the patient privacy, and they actually have a voice in the process, because if I receive a refund notification and I don't believe that it should be happening, I now at least have a chance to argue against it.
And it prevents those awkward, legally risky moments where team members have to explain why money disappeared from one patient's account for another's mistake, meaning the dental insurance company's mistake, not ours.
It's a win for patients, it's a win for providers, and it's a win for professionalism.
Now, you'd think a law like this, something that protects doctors and patients alike, would get national recognition.
Yeah, we thought so too. We reached out again to the American Dental Association and shared the details, and silence again.
And that's why we keep telling these stories here, because if we don't share them, no one will. And imagine how many states could fix this issue if the ADA simply spotlighted it. You could copy Utah's law.
Exactly. So if you're listening from another state, take this law and make it your own and protect your office and your patients too.
Utah's overpayment law is one of those quiet victories that makes a huge difference. And it's proof that change doesn't always need to be loud. It just needs to be effective.
So if you want to bring similar reform to your state, can you please reach out to us? We're happy to share the legislative language, the processes involved, and everything that we've learned along the way.
We're just a phone call or an email away, and we would love to help. Serving others is what we love doing.
Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, stay connected, because we're going to continue this 10-week journey breaking down Utah's leadership in dental reform.
Because when we all stand together, we make dentistry stronger, and we make it stronger one law at a time. And Trace, I'd love to have candid thought time with you right now on this law, because it absolutely drove me nuts. When I learned, and docs, you've got to stay in tune with your front office team members too. They're doing this all the time. How many times have we brought this up in training, and the front office team members, they'll cheer, they'll clap, and here's the dentist.
What happens?
What was wrong? I didn't even know there was a problem there. Docs, you've got to stay tuned in, because this is the kind of stuff that's like just really, really, really bad. And I can't even, for them to, that is such an accounting nightmare, right?
It is. And I'm just thinking of all the times where myself or a team member had to go in and make those changes, and it felt icky every single time.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
It was just icky.
You feel violated.
We did. Here we are having to take money from another patient, and there have been times where maybe we thought the patient had a credit on their account. That happened before, where I would give a patient a credit on the account going, oh, look, insurance paid more. So I'd issue the refund check to the patient. Patient's super excited, until I call them back saying that the money was taken back by their insurance company. That's a fun conversation to have.
Gal, Trace, you're just bringing up one thing, and we'll close with that.
Yeah.
And that is, how many times have we been in front of groups of 100, 200 dental team members, and all the office managers, they literally echo what you just said, that they've had to go back and collect more money from a patient because of the insurance error. And then the insurance companies, they don't even back them up.
Well, and even in situations where you believe that the overpayment wasn't relevant or valid, they take it anyway. So that's where the right to fight back really was taken from us.
And how many office managers have not fought back and have just written off the balance?
Oh.
And that's where that gets frustrating. And we've seen that how many times? Way too many.
Too many to count. That's why I love this law. That's why I love that we are able to stand our ground and fight back. And again, if it is a legitimate overpayment, we have the power to write the check, keep it within that patient's chart, and document accordingly. And I love that we're able to do that.
Our colleagues and friends in other states, you need to make this law happen, and don't allow insurance companies to recoup payments illegitimately. I mean, is that the best way to put it?
It's the best way to don't feel icky.
Don't allow them to violate you any more than they already do, right? Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to be back here with episode 5. Till then, have a great day.